Tucker asked Mike Huckabee about his embracing of Jonathan Pollard, the spy against the United States, who
Correct.
went to prison for 30 years and embraced him and defended it. And then on top of that, Pollard makes a video saying that Tucker should go fuck himself. So they really...
But wait. But no, that's not the richest part of all of this to me. The richest part of all of this is that piece of shit Huckabee, that guy who is affiliating with known and convicted traitors, right?
Yeah.
Right. And he dares to go and question Anthony's credibility and talk shit about Anthony. I cannot tell you the level of rage. Like it's only because it's been a couple days. Like if I had been on Saturday night with you, I don't think I can contain myself. It was infuriating the way he spoke.
Anthony's convinced that he doesn't even know who he is, that he personally got a message from Netanyahu basically telling him that he needs to go on there and just say something disparaging about this guy.
No, but they specifically did that. Like, it was completely unnecessary. And so, guys, the duplicitous, Zio-plumed Huckabee, and it's a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale, Mike. You know, it's like you go around and talk shit about people that, as far as I'm concerned, have like impeccable credibility and honor. And I cannot tell you the level of rage. It's like, how dare he go? Rachel and I are like, how dare he go after our sweet baby boo? You know, it's like, you're going to go after our boo? Oh, I don't think so. No.
Well, if you're feeling the rage, we might as well just go for it. It's going to be one of those interesting evenings, so we'll see how it unfolds. So this is the one layer. Listen, pretty much everything that came out of Huckabee's mouth was completely offensive, detestable, and anti-American in almost every conceivable way. And there's a lot of different stories that you can cover. But if there's one layer to the story that we did not cover that I believe we should cover now, since obviously you're here, and I feel that you would want to have a say in this, especially since it's the story about Jonathan Pollard, I would think that this is be a pretty significant way to go. So this is Tucker Carlson asking Mike Huckabee, why did you feel the need? It's one thing to be in love with Israel for a paycheck, among other things. It's another thing entirely to embrace traitors, like actual traitors, because that's what Jonathan Pollard is. But of course, Huckabee was very happy to receive this question from Tucker.
So I want to ask you, everyone I've talked to in preparation for this has said the same thing. Jonathan Pollard? I'm just going to throw the name to you and have you explain.
No, I'm glad you asked. You know,
of course.
Interestingly, there's been a lot of things about it. You're the first person who has asked me about it, which I find amazing. So I'm glad you did.
Really?
That's not possible. That's not possible. So, that's not possible.
So then why would
Because it was all over the news when he greeted him at the airport when he went back to, Zio hell. So perhaps it was all over the news and people were covering it and there were cameras there, but no one asked him about this before.
Well, perhaps he was the first person that actually asked him a question that he couldn't avoid answering, because he's sitting there for the interview and he has to address it. There's no way he would be like, I don't want to talk about that. That's a stupid question. I can't do that. So he's going to answer it. And if you think his answers regarding Anthony were bad, this is even worse.
The greatest traitor in modern American history who sold our battle plans against the Soviet Union, our main enemy in the Cold War, to the Israeli government, which according to our Reagan CIA director, Bill Casey, then gave them to the Soviet Union. So this was the most profound betrayal of the United States in my lifetime. Why advocate for that guy's release before he serves his full sentence?
If that were the case in 2011, it would have been because I had a number of friends that suggested that he had more than served time and he didn't want to live in the U.S. anymore. He wanted to live in Israel.
He's going to end up having to step down after this. And it isn't necessarily... It isn't even this as much as it is like the rest of the Arab leaders that are even on our payroll leaders are like not having it with his comments, and especially what he said about just Israel being able to expand as far as it wants to. Sure, have the whole thing. Yeah. As Rachel would say, it went over like a fart in a spacesuit.
Let's hear it one more time so you understand what he's really saying.
Sentence.
If that were the case in 2011, it would have been because I had a number of friends that suggested that he had more than served time and he didn't want to live in the U.S. anymore. He wanted to.
Okay, so what he's basically saying is, I had some very powerful Jewish Zionist friends who said that he no longer needs to be there. In fact, we want him in Israel. Hey, whatever you want, guys, totally fine with me, because I am Mike Huckabee and I will do anything for a paycheck. This bastard.
You got that? You think that is interesting that that was your sort of take on it, that they wanted him in Ziohel as much as, I don't know, that wasn't my take on it. Like, I was sort of thinking of it from the perspective of, yeah, he wants to go live there. And yeah, he just wants to get out and go be there. And it's just a matter of, that's where all the disgusting, traitorous, and pedophile enthusiasts go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's a known, listen.
And that's where they go. They go, yeah.
It is a known aspect of Israel that they welcome the worst of the very worst in the world, as long as they're Jewish. That's all that matters to them. Again, pedophiles, traitors, mass murderers. It doesn't matter. People that work in bioweapons labs in Las Vegas. Remember that one? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have this.
No, it's sexual assaulters too. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not just pederasses. You know, it's a lot of different disgustingness that somehow, all, you know, it's like gets with like. So that's why.
But the fact that he's so flippant about it, the fact that he thinks that, oh, this is such a normal thing, you know, a Jewish American spy for Israel decided he didn't want to stay in prison anymore. We wanted to get him out about, no. What was this? 15 years, halfway into his term? Yeah, we didn't really want him there. He didn't want to be there anymore. So we were going to do him a favor because, you know, he's such a great guy.
Live in Israel.
Pollard is different, I think, once you become U.S. ambassador, the representative of the president of the United States in the United States of America in a foreign country, and then you invite not only the most damaging betrayer in our lifetimes, but also a guy who continues to advocate for betrayal. So he gave an interview, as I know you know, in 2021 to Israeli media, in which he said, I would encourage Jewish Americans with security clearances to spy for Mossad against their own country, the United States, because, and I'm pretty much quoting him, all Jews should have dual loyalty.
That's pretty bad.
And it's anti-Semitic. It is Jew hating. That's Jew hating. That's creating so much, not just creating real Jew sentiment, but that in and of itself is an anti-Jew sentiment. Really?
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, that's just it's so gross.
I mean, that's not repentance. That's not someone who feels bad about what he did. That's someone who's encouraging American Jews to betray their country. That's pretty heavy, don't you think?
Oh, I do. And I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think, let's remember, it was President Trump who probably facilitated his departure. And I'm certainly supportive of President Trump. I think you are. And
Pollard's not. He called him a madman after your meeting.
That's why I say Pollard is not, for me, the real issue. It was the fact that he did something that was despicable. I'm not denying that.
Do you see why the U.S. ambassador hosting a convicted betrayer of his own country who's encouraging Americans to continue to betray their country would seem shocking?
Well, I would say that it wasn't that you make it sound like I'm hosting a meeting. I simply met with him. I meet with people all the time.
Some of them just walk in without a...
No, they have to have an appointment. Of course they do.
Oh.
I mean, you got first as somebody who's done, and we both have done journalism respectively, you have to appreciate just how good Tucker is at his job, how he's absolutely great. Gets people to just hang themselves out to dry.
It's just great. No, I mean, because because his approach, his method is jovial and very animated and seemingly confrontational, but yet being confrontational.
Oh yeah.
He's really like leading him in really well.
Yeah. And again, this is part of the problem with somebody like Huckabee is that he is
so going down. He is so going down.
Again,
we're going to have roast Huckabee. Do you know how to make roast Huckabee?
Lots of, I don't know. Is it with matzo ball soup or something like that? I don't know.
No, I was going to do a whole thing, like a whole recipe on how to make roast Huckabee, but it involves sliced onions and sliced lemons. And you do the, what do you call it? Oh my God. Spatchcocking. It's spatchcocked, where you cut it down the back and spread it so that it's flat like that. You spatchcock it. That's what it's called. And you do it like that and you roast it. And you can even do it with the same hat that it comes with.
Oh, well, that's good. That's an accessory. You're not supposed to eat the hat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that story, but we'll finish this part up.
So it is hosting him then, I think.
Well, I don't know if it was hosting, but it was certainly, he was able to come to the U.S. Embassy to have a meeting at his request. I did. And frankly, I don't regret it. I met with a lot of people over the course of the time I've been here, and we'll meet with a lot more.
Why did he meet with him? He still didn't answer that very important part of the question. Why did you meet with? First of all, he lied. He said that he didn't meet with him. He just, said hello to him on the tarmac. Kind of like that time.
Wait, you're saying that a liar lied? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who was I'm forgetting the lady's name now. That guy, the audience, guys, if you will, who was the person that Bill Clinton met with on the tarmac that wanted to make sure that Hillary was not prosecuted for her crimes with her private server? You remember who I'm talking about?
I don't
Just
remember.
Had a private meeting on the tarmac. It wasn't anything serious. It was just a casual.
Right. It was just a greeting.
And wait, exact same time.
Here's the thing. Actually, as the ambassador to Ziohel, it isn't strange to me that he would meet with any American that was living there or moving there, actually, right? Now, being there to welcome them in person is a bit above and beyond, right? Like welcoming said person when they get in is a little bit much for someone that you really don't support and know. But as far as meeting with them, yeah. I honestly, we're just not used to that because representatives in our vicinity don't generally take meetings with constituents, but that is in fact his job. So that's not the problem.
To think that there would not be another layer to this story, there is one, and this is why we played it in the first place. Loretta Lynch, that's correct. Yeah, Loretta Lynch did a really great job. She really did. She made sure that history became Trump's history instead of Bernie's history, because there's no way Hillary was ever going to win. But that being said, Jonathan Pollard decided to make a video earlier today and posted it on Twitter in response to Tucker Carlson.
He can go ahead, lie all he wants. And the man, believe me, is as dangerous as Father Coughlin and Charles Lindbergh during the 1930s and 40s. This man is an anti-Semite, and what he's trying to do is smear the American Jewish community collectively with the crime of one person, me. Now, if Tucker Carlson believes in collective punishment, then maybe he should be...
Wait. In what? Did I miss it where he said how Tucker did that? What in the world is it that he's saying Tucker is attributing to all Jewish people him? Like, what? I don't understand what the hell he's talking about.
Oh, he's just
maybe there's a part of that interview I didn't see. Is there a part of that interview where Tucker said that Jews are all sneaky as fuck because this guy is sneaky as fuck? I didn't catch that part of the interview.
No, but all Zionists are sneaky as fuck. I definitely believe that.
Well, yes, but that's not what so, and again, what's this guy's name again? Pollard, but what's his first name? Jonathan, whatever. Nobody believes what you're selling. Nobody believes what you're selling. And I would suggest he also does very much give off like a pederasty vibe to me.
Ooh, Jewish Santa Claus. Come sit on my lap, children.
Don't smear Santa Claus that way. That's not nice.
Well, Santa Claus is not Jewish, but then again, Santa Claus
isn't anything.
That's what I just said. I said he's not real, but
I thought you said he's not Jewish, and that's like the people that were pissed that they made the Little Mermaid black.
Santa Claus. It's like he's not even real. Megyn Kelly did an entire segment on that issue. I'm like, oh my Lord, Jesus, Mary and Joseph,
Black Jesus.
Open about that, okay? But here's a guy who doesn't have any of the facts himself, relies upon individuals.
I just have to say, and this is the same bullshit that we hear from the Zio Jews all the time, especially when it comes to Israel. You don't know what you're talking about. We have the truth, and you're just hearing a whole bunch of lies. You don't understand. Remember the basketball player I just told you about, who they're defending because he's from Israel, plays on the team? He did the same fucking thing. He's like, you people don't understand what it's like in Israel. You don't understand how persecuted we are. Like, they're all the same. They really are. Like, they're part of like a death cult. It's sick and demented. And yet, why are we listening to Jonathan Pollard? I
don't know. You're killing me with him sitting there this long.
Have no credibility at all. And then takes money from Qatar, has a home in Qatar, and is doing the bidding of the Muslim Brotherhood. Now, if he wants to deny that, then he should open up his records and let's see if he's been taking any money from Qatar. My sources say he is, which makes him an agent of influence. Is Tucker Carlson registered as an agent of the Qatari government? Not that I'm aware of.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm hallucinating. What? Are we watching a convicted traitor talk about Tucker Carlson, who, by the way, is an independent private citizen journalist who can have financial dealings with whoever the hell he wants to, whether in this country or another. And he's like, this would be like watching a convicted serial killer, right? Question like the methods of how somebody else is doing their serial killing, like very specifically.
But just look at the message that he's putting out there. So Tucker Carlson is actually the criminal. A criminal of what? What did he do? He's a journalist. Mike Huckabee is the U.S. ambassador to Israel, you fucking dickhead. Oh, my Lord. This is incredible.
I'm going to forever hate this fuck for making me defend Tucker Carlson.
Sentenced and appropriately punished. When it comes to slander and libel, and people have asked me why I don't take him to court on those issues. It's pointless because a serial liar, a deranged serial liar like Tucker Carlson,
traitors calling him a liar.
Incredible or uncredible sources to back up what he's saying. Enough to confuse a jury, and I don't want to run the risk of losing a case to an enemy of my people like this. So the bottom line on this is, in conclusion, I was very disappointed by the Israeli government bending to President Trump's pressure to let him into the country. I was disappointed, I have to say, in Ambassador Huckabee's answers dealing with me. But I was not surprised at all by the lies and slander that Tucker Carlson delivered at me. My people have faced enemies like him down through history.
Who the fuck are his people? Your people, you mean traitors? Is he talking about other traitors, his people, the traitors? Because that's the only people that I know that Tucker was talking about, was him as a traitor, which, as far as last I checked, he was convicted as such. Am I wrong? What am I missing? Why is he doing a video? Take him off. Make him go away, please.
Listen, he's got a lot of balls. And the thing that was so telling is that he actually went after Huckabee in that little diatribe at the end, saying, and I don't particularly like the way Huckabee talked about me in that interview.
This guy's got a set. A lot of places would have hanged him.
Yeah.
Right. And yet he's getting to just be where he wants to be after that's off the wall to me. So,
the other thing that you have to remember, he doesn't regret anything that he did. In fact,
he's still encouraging them to do it.
Yeah, he's probably proud of what he did. He thinks what he did was it's kind of like, remember when Linda Tripp was recording Monica Lewinsky and they asked her about it and she said, it was my diplomatic duty to do that and I would do it again. Well, he believes the same thing. He absolutely believes that it was his diplomatic duty to spy on Americans for the Israelis to deal with the Russians. Like this was, we must do away with these people.
Oh my God! Don't bring him back. I don't need to see him again.
We're not bringing him.
He looks like he smells bad.